He tells him, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you.
Alright guys, so we're here with another fan theory based video. Alright, so we're on Screenrant, and you know they are the masters of coming up with the dumbest fan theories in existence. And then just going, we hope they're true. So let's go ahead and scroll down. Number 10, no such thing as quirkless. Okay. One of the larger fan theories out there revolves around those without quirks, or at least ones that don't appear to have quirks. This theory insists that everyone actually has a quirk by this point in time. It's just that perhaps 20% of the quirks are useless or are not given the opportunity to be noticed. For example, One for All was created because somebody who thought they had no quirk was then given a quirk. Then it became clear that they did in fact have a quirk, the ability to give quirks. If we assume that he's not the only one to have an invisible quirk, so to speak, it leaves us with a lot of questions. Perhaps the rest just haven't had the opportunity to have their quirks triggered, or they're so minor as to be considered a whatever, doesn't matter. Anyways, let's just go ahead and go on with this theory. Let's talk about this. So, when Izuku Midoriya is in the hospital finding out that he doesn't have a quirk, I actually pull up the scene, just give me one moment. Alright, here you go. I just grabbed the subtitled version, but here you go. Alright, so once I get my quirk, I want to be like him too. You should probably give it up. Excuse me, but you're fourth generation, right, ma'am? Normally, by age 4, he would have manifested one of those quirks. Or some combination of the two. You can see by looking at this X-ray that Izuku has 2 joints. It is usually normal to see that these days, but that means he has no quirk. So remember, they did talk about that, for example, that he doesn't have a quirk because of, well, one, he has, the 2 joints in his foot. See right here. Joint here, joint here. He has 2 joints. Which apparently is a common trait that shows that he doesn't have a quirk. Also, by his time, he would have manifested a form of quirk, whether it is the same as his parents or a combination of both. Now we can see that his mother has some form of telekinetic abilities, able to lift things with her mind. So this already shows you that he doesn't have that. And I don't know if there's any information talking about what his father has as a quirk. Give me a second. Alright, so here you go. So, his mom's able to lift things up with her mind. It was seen in, I think, 1 episode for a brief period of time. Then I looked up information about his dad. His dad has a fire quirk. So, for him to have any form of quirk at all would mean that he's able to lift things up telepathically, or he's able to control fire, or some combination of the two, or some manifestation of either one. Now, he shows no form of any form of fire, heat control, nothing. So we can go ahead and rule that out. So his only other option would be some form of telekinetic ability. He's not shown being able to lift objects with his mind, and he's also not shown to be able to read people's mind. So his mental ability is not that, extravagant where it'd be considered a quirk. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll be getting right back to where we were. Alright, and it keeps going on about talking about how, like, for instance, One For All. Yeah, he did have a, useless quirk that allows him to transfer his quirk onto other people. But let's go ahead and compare him to his brother. So, All For One, his quirk is that he's able to transmit quirks from one being to another. So he's able to move quirks out of people's body and put them into other people's bodies. That's how he got all the quirks that he can, is because he would go up to people and he would take their quirk. And you can see that All Might was the 8th person to have One For All. So that means at some point, like, since he's the 8th user, at some point, like, the original One For All died. But he was able to transfer his quirk over to somebody else, and then do the same until it got to All Might, now it got to Izuku Midoriya. Well, the reason that All For One still exists is because he's able to take any quirk. And let's say there's a quirk that lets him live forever. Well, he can take that. It can become his. Alright, and if you compare, like I said, if you compare them, One For All, his ability is to transfer his quirk to other people. While All For One's quirk is to be able to transmit quirks between different people, including himself as being one of them. So the quirks are still the same. Now, people may go, oh, well, if you read the manga, it would seem like All Might has another quirk. It could be possible. I will actually be talking about that theory later down the line, because I heard Film Theory did an amazing video talking about how All Might actually has another quirk. But I'll be talking about that later on. But talking about this, as we can see, there are people that don't have quirks. And this is just dead wrong. Anyways, if you guys have enjoyed, please hit that like button. If you're all new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. And comment down below your thoughts on this fan theory in general. And I'll see you guys in the next video.